Are you missing out on the hottest real estate trend? Are you ready to discover the next big thing in real estate? Picture this: families embracing a new way of living, coming together multi-generationally under one roof, and how it's making headlines all over the globe. And we'll end with something different, a stock tip. Let's start with what's the difference between multi-generational living and multi-family housing. These two terms can get twisted up. If you're an investor, I highly recommend multi-family housing. That's where you buy a duplex, a quad, or even invest in an entire apartment complex. But that's just single generation living. Each unit holds about one family. Multi-generational living is where several generations come together under one big roof, where you might have grandma and grandpa and the college students and an aunt or an uncle all coming together to care for one another and the young children. 6 or 7 bedrooms, big house. Or 3 or 4 families coming together in one neighborhood or on one street, or even back to back like Mom and I are doing here. Today I'm bringing you news from far and wide to give you some examples of how hot this trend is and how you might get some ideas about how you can do this for your own family. Stop burning daylight and get on with it. We first go to Business Insider Jennifer Bringle, and she writes about the stress of being part of the sandwich generation. This is the thing that is driving the multi-generational living. Also, the interest rate is up again to 7%. That's a big driver. So Jennifer writes about how stressful it is to get up early, get her son off to school, grab her laptop so she can do some work when she drives an hour to the ICU where her dad is, sit with him all day and get some work done in between, drive an hour back to her son's school, get him, and start the whole thing over the next day. She's caring for an elementary child and an aging father in 2 different towns. So she's getting the sandwich squeeze, which is what's making a lot of people want to come together under one roof for care. We move on now to UpWorthy for a lighter note. A 19-year-old accidentally moved into a senior living complex and she's loving it. I love this so much. Madison Cohout absolutely loves her new apartment in Northeast Arkansas. When she moved from Norman, Oklahoma, she moved from right here to Piggott, Arkansas. And of course, she's doing everything online. She fills out an application. She likes the price. They accept her. They never mention that this is a senior living apartment complex of 10 units. She's been living there a week when she starts to notice one of these things is not like the other. And then she sees a sign that says senior living apartments. And it dawns on her, what has just happened? Well, she decided to stay. The price was right. She liked the environment. She loved the people. They're bringing casseroles by and leaving them outside her door. They're inviting her over to play dominoes. And they're really getting to know her and including her in their community. And I think this is a brilliant way for someone in her 20s to live life. Yahoo Finance, with the really clickbaity headline, I don't like this at all. I think it should really say boomers are moving into their whiny millennials' homes. Their whiny kids are whining about it. Sounds like a parenting failure to me. You could check that one out on your own time. Jasmine Lee wrote an article this week, and it's all about multi-generational living. And some people aren't that happy about it. Now we go to Canada. Burnaby now is near Vancouver, and they are talking about laneway homes. A laneway home is when you build a house in the backyard, and the lane that they're talking about is the back alley. So basically, you've used up your whole backyard to build another house. And it's called the laneway home because its entrance is on the alley side. As a new addition to the last 90 years of single-family zoning, represent a revolution in flexible, creative housing solutions. The Burnaby city has a growing need for more family homes, but they're out of space. They need diverse and sustainable housing options, and they don't want to move an hour away from the city in order to get that. So you are going to start seeing zoning laws all over the place changing. It's already happening on both of our coasts in the US now, and it's going to be moving along, where you will soon be able to put up a laneway home or an ADU, also known as accessory dwelling unit, in your backyard, and you can sell that or rent it to a family member or put your grandma in it and have her close by. We're going to pop over to Real Clear Health, an article by Patricia Onwuka this week. Hope for housing policy. Let women age in place. Well, don't we want everyone to be able to age in place? Yes, of course we do. But her point is that women outlive men by 6 years. We have to come up with solutions. Particularly, she's focusing on women ages 50 to 65. They are financially insecure because of a variety of reasons. Maybe they started work later because they were caring for children. Maybe they took a break in their working years because of caring for children or older family members. And so they don't have the same kind of retirement plans that their male counterparts have. So in the 50 to 65-year-old range, if a woman is now single or widowed or divorced on her own for any reason, the housing needs that she has are very specialized. It's during this time that women start to think about retirement, and that brings on a lot of anxiety and fear. A new poll out from Independent Women's Voice says that 89% of women over 50 are looking to leaders to come up with some kind of solutions for women who are not financially stable enough to retire, but they are too old to find work. According to Merrill Lynch, women enter retirement with less money. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Poverty rates among women over age 65 are the highest of any demographic. Women over age 65. The burden of caring for aging women often falls on their daughters or daughters-in-law, as women are more likely than men to take on caregiving roles. These women may also be approaching retirement themselves and have financial anxiety. One positive note in all this is that women own more houses than men. 58% of single women own a home. So if you own your own house, there are ways to use it for multi-generational living that could offset some of your income problems. The article, they are mentioning accessory dwelling units or ADUs as the zoning catches up with the need for the demand. Those will be great options for women over 50 who don't have retirement in place. They also make a really weird statement. I will read it to you. Millions of ADUs may exist nationwide now, but operate outside of the government's purview, which could lead to living in unsafe conditions. Oh dear. Because we know all of the government housing is tip-top shape, and they set the standard for safe living conditions. Please. Lawmakers are getting involved and slowly starting to reform the zoning that keeps us from building in our backyard. Having an ADU in your backyard can boost your own home's value by 35%. It's going to cost you $60,000 to $225,000 to put one of those in your backyard. So there's certainly an upfront cost, but think of the value if you rent it out over the years. Could be a great investment in property that you already own. I told you there's going to be a stock tip at the end. This is it. All of the real estate stocks are stagnant, plateaued, or even crashing. But one is climbing, and that's Real Broker, where I am an agent. You've heard about that from me before. Let's look at Zillow real quick and Redfin. Boy, they ate supper before they said grace. Would you look at this? These charts and graphs. Real broker is still on the rise. Because they're innovating like crazy. And because we love our families just like you love yours. And we're creating this culture of care and generosity among agents, which has not been the historical environment among real estate agents. We are here to do that. And that change is making the stock rise. You can get in on it now. It's only about $3 right now. We've only been on stock exchange for a couple of years, but the innovations behind what we're doing and the agent attraction is pretty exciting. We had 4,000 agents when I joined them, and now we have 15,000. We're adding about 1,000 a month right now. So if you want to talk to me more about becoming an agent, of course you know how to contact me. But if you just want to put your money in something that's building and growing, I would say buy some stock in REAX, that's our symbol, our ticker symbol, and hold it for 15 years and you're going to make money. Question of the day, why is my Instagram so crowded with ads for ADHD? That doesn't seem accurate, does it? Finally, send this to a sibling and tell them this is life and it's coming for you. And as always, give me some sugar by following, subscribing, and pressing the notification bell. I'm Jen Kelsey, Multigen Jen, helping you move closer to your family and the ones that you love most.